Hey, what's up? So just watched Thor Ragnarok, and my goodness, HELa is the opposite of what we were given in the Marvels. And again, it goes to prove that the Marvels actually dropped the ball, and actually Marvel Studio have the ability to give us good characters. You know why? Because if you look at HELa is one of those characters who I would consider one of the best Marvel villains so far, and she's the one who actually made Thor Ragnarok great. Yeah, there were all these other elements, but she was one of the parts that actually made that movie great. Why? Because she's a formidable villain, and she's actually, if you look at her motivation and her inspiration, it actually makes a lot of sense. It actually makes a lot of sense for her to come and start hunting down Thor and want to, to have a problem with Odin, to have a problem with Thor, to have a problem with Loki. It makes a lot of sense for her to have that beef with them. And so I thought to myself, what did they do right in that particular movie? What did they do right with that particular villain? And they did wrong with the villain in the Marvels, who I can't even remember the name of because she didn't make such an impact on me. Number one, it's pretty obvious. Now we're going to look at just a few, the ones that came to mind while I was watching Thor, the ones that came to mind when I first saw HELa. Before we begin, this is just a random take on the two characters. Number one, HELa was an original character. She was female in the book, she was female in the movie. This other character in the Marvel was actually gender swapped. If you didn't know, go check it out. The character in the comic books is a male, and the character in this particular movie is a female. I thought I would put it out there before we begin. So let's just begin. Number one, the look. HELa is sleek and sexy, and like this other character, she doesn't try to play off her feminine energy. You can actually feel it from the way she walks, from the way she talks. She has totally embraced her feminine energy, but she has this other thing about her that makes her, look dangerous. That is in terms of just personality, but also in terms of looks. The horns and how she actually reveals them looks pretty cool. It looks like something that you lifted from a comic book. While when you look at the other character, she looked like, wow. I don't know who designed her costume. I don't know what they were thinking. Her holding the hammer, she always looked a bit awkward. When she was, if you watch the Marvels again, and even if you were to look at her pose of her holding the hammer, you'll just see how awkward she looks. She doesn't look like her costume. She doesn't look as menacing within her costume as HELa looked in her costume. And again, as I said, HELa doesn't try to shy away from her feminine energy. She totally embraces it. But when you look at this other character, she's built to look like a dude. I'm sorry, the triangle, how you draw, she's given like super big shoulders and everything is covered up. There's nothing wrong. I don't think that they should all be, their bodies should be dressed out. But if they just tried to, make a female character who feels like a female character but is also powerful, that would have been cool. I don't know why she had to have all these, draping clothes all over her. I don't think she looked cool. But that's just me. From a design perspective, I think HELa's costumes looked way superior. Number two, how you introduce your villain. You remember how Thanos was introduced when he first met Thor and Loki, and then he beats the crap out of the Hulk. If you remember, just that intro, that the fact that Thanos actually tactically just beat Hulk clean, not cheating, that in itself set him as, that scene just sets him up as one of the baddest villain that we have in the MCU. So the Marvels, they were not able to establish a villain that was actually, they didn't give her a proper intro. They didn't give her that intro that would make people go like, whoa, just wait a minute. If you remember HELa, when she comes in, what does she do? She crushes Thor's hammer. I mean, the hammer that no one can lift. She single hand just crushes it. And that immediately establishes that this is not an ordinary person that you're looking at. This is not just any other villain that you're looking at. You know that this villain is actually badass if she can not even crush the hammer. So yeah, and you look, and now you go back and look at what the Marvel did with the character. she didn't have a proper intro. She didn't have that intro that makes you go like, whoa, wait a damn minute, who the hell is this? You know, and out of all the other characters, out of Thanos, forget about HELa, this Marvel character is, nobody knows her. Nobody has seen her before. So the fact that they did not give us a scene whereby it establishes her as actually a badass, I believe that that's one of the problems that the Marvel had with that particular villain. The other thing is our motivation. You know, think about HELa. Her motivation are personal. You know, they're not righteous. When you think about the villain in the Marvel, her motivations were righteous. She was trying to save a community and do all these good things. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But you're trying to make a character, a villain who is not, you know, you're trying to make an antagonist who has a novel idea and paints her in more of a positive way, rather than creating an antagonist who is outright, you know, bad. When you think about HELa's motivation was clean. She just wanted to rule, and she had done so much for, you know, the father and everyone else, and she had been in prison and ignored, and so her coming back and actually trying to be the king made sense. Second thing, it was really personal. It wasn't it wasn't based on the idea that she just saw someone do something bad and she wanted to revenge, and because I don't know, because our planet was dying. Her motivation was not as safe as this other character's motivation. Her motivation was clear cut. Her motivation is something that most people can relate to, because we've all been in a position whereby you've done so much and you find that you're pushed to the side, and the people that you've done that stuff for actually go out there and use what you've created and become big and hide whatever you've done. So everything that HELa was, you know, doing actually makes sense, because people actually do go through that. People get sidelined. People would get pushed aside. And second thing, sibling rivalry. You know, the moment that you learn that she is Thor's relative and Odin's first daughter and the most powerful of them, you know, that makes everything, that makes the confrontation personal. But when you think of the Marvels, there was nothing that was personal between these two characters. It's just that the villain just happened to see Miss Marvel destroy the AI of the planet, and the planet go boom. There's nothing that actually ties them and goes like, you know, if Monica Rambeau was the villain, for me it would have made more sense. I'm sorry to say, I know she's a hero, she's supposed to be the good guy. That for me would have made more sense, rather than this other person who just wants to, you know, rebuild our planet. That for me did not make sense. Okay, it does make sense for a villain like that, but then it doesn't have enough weight for people to get attached to. And the last one, the character's direction, the overall vibe, the overall, you know, style and charisma. If you remember HELa takes out an army at one point. I think you all remember that. She takes out, alone, single-handedly takes out an army. When you look at the villain in the Marvel, it's more of her army attacking another community, but they don't truly attack them. They just want their resources. That's why they are forced to attack them. So Marvel was trying to be, you know, good, bad, somewhere at the center. It's like, we are not attacking you because we want to attack you. We just attack you because we want your resources. If you look at HELa was extremely cold. You know, she asked the people whether they want to join her. If they don't want to join her, he kills them. She kills them alone. You know, that already establishes that this is a badass character, and her style and her charisma and how she was interacting with the villain and her sense of confidence. She didn't have to, you know, look like she was trying to be a bad person. She was just a badass naturally. She was just oozing with charisma and just badassness. When you look at this other the villain in the Marvel, she was just struggling to show that she's actually the bad guy, with the look, with how she was showing her teeth when she was going to fight, with how she looked like she struggled during battles. That's totally opposite from what HELa is, because HELa is just a laid-back character. She's badass and she knows it. You know, she's confident with her strength. You know, but the Marvel character looked like the director told her that you need to look bad It's not that you're bad. You just need to bring out that look that you're actually bad. Yeah, so basically that's it. That's what I thought about after watching Thor Ragnarok. That's what I thought. I was like, wait, this is actually a Marvel character. HELa is a Marvel character. So how comes that they did this so right with this particular character in this, and then they got this other character wrong in this? Yeah, so basically that's it. That's my thoughts upon watching HELa and then comparing HELa with the character that I actually saw in the other book. So basically that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch, and I shall see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and yeah, watch this to get my thoughts on what I think the Marvels did right or wrong.